Hello and welcome to Storytime Reddit. Today's story comes from r/am I the a-hole, where we can all gleefully play judge over others' moral missteps. Our story is, am I the a-hole for telling my fiance if I see her friend again, I'm calling the cops? Me, 29-year-old male, and Erica, 27-year-old female, dated for 2 years and have been engaged the last 4 months. After we got engaged, Erica moved into my house. I still pay the mortgage while she pays for utilities, groceries, and household items. After we get married, the plan is to put her on the house so she gets equity as well. Her friend Leah, 27-year-old female, and her have been best friends since high school. I don't particularly like Leah, but have also been cordial as I know she's going to be in my life. My issue is Leah thinks of my home as hers. Couple of examples. She always brings her boyfriend over, and he's a sketchball. She talks to me in a very disrespectful way in my own house, like I'm a guest and she/Erica owns it. One day, I went out to my garage and some of my tools were missing. I checked my camera and Leah/boyfriend were in my garage with Erica and took some tools with them. I asked Erica and she said they were just borrowing and would return them. I had to reach out multiple times for them to finally return the tools weeks later. I have a nice wine/liquor collection and I was working late one Friday. While working, I heard some clanking of bottles together. Erica wasn't home, so I went out to see what was up. Leah was behind my bar. I asked what she was doing, and she said that Erica told her it was okay to borrow a bottle of wine for her party and that she would pay it back. I had told her no, that wasn't all right, and to leave. I asked Erica about this, and she said, I don't remember telling Leah she could take a bottle, but I might have. I don't remember. I told her at this point I wasn't comfortable with Leah being in my house. Erica sort of understood, but also blew me off. Final straw came when I wanted to go hit some golf balls and my clubs were missing. I freaked out because I golf regularly and my clubs are my biggest investment. Went to check the camera again, and Leah used my garage code and took the clubs. I blew up. Called Erica and told her to get them back immediately. Erica said Leah had asked for the garage code to grab some clothes from her closet and not my clubs. I threatened to call the police, but Erica stopped me. Leah kept telling me that her boyfriend needed them for a work thing. I got them back almost 4 days after they were taken, and they were dirty. At this point, I sat Erica down and told her that if I see Leah in my house again, then I'm calling the cops. No discussion. Erica got upset saying that it's her best friend and that wasn't fair to do to her in our house. I said it's a pattern, and since Erica's stuff isn't affected, she doesn't care. I said she can go over to Leah's if she wants to see her. She said she can't do this because Leah doesn't like her apartment and Leah's boyfriend is always there, which makes Erica uncomfortable. I'm now getting the silent treatment and getting called an a-hole, but I don't think I'm doing anything wrong. Am I the a-hole? Edit. Update. I want to thank you all for the kind words and comments. I knew after reading the comments that it was time to come to a resolution. I decided to drive home from work and talk with Erica. When I showed up, Leah's car was parked in the drive. I went inside and they were watching TV. I told Leah immediately to get out. She tried to argue that I told her if she didn't, then I'm calling the police. Erica tried to get pissy that I kicked her friend out, but I said I'm done talking about Leah because at this point nothing is changing with that relationship. Sat Erica down and showed her this post. 20 minutes of reading later, I asked her what she thought. She said, "Those people don't understand our relationship or Leah." I knew then that it was over. I asked her to hold out her hand and I took the ring off. She begged, saying she is sorry and she'll cut off Leah, etc. I told her I can't even trust her with the garage code. How am I supposed to trust her as my wife? She's locked herself in our room now. I'm in the kitchen packing up her things. I called her dad/mom telling them about what has happened and they were furious. Leah's apparently banned from their house and has been since high school. I didn't know this, but her parents said it's been like this since high school. They are coming this weekend to get Erica and the stuff. I couldn't be any happier than I am right now. A huge weight feels lifted off my shoulders. I felt like if I never made this post, I wouldn't have ever seen how messed up my life had become. Sincerely, thank you, everyone. Can't wait to take my clubs out and play around now that I have more free time. Really excited to see what single life brings, and I can't thank you all enough again. And now for the top comments. If you've enjoyed the story and would like to hear more, consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment. Thank you. Do not put this woman on the deed to your home. Heck, don't marry her. You don't have a Leah problem, you have a fiance problem. Time to move on, buddy. Not the a-hole. I agree. OP, open your eyes. Agreed. Erica is allowing this to happen. There are a lot of boundary issues that show as red flags. The fact that Leah has your code and lets herself in without letting anyone know is a problem. And you can truly see that Leah does not give a single F. She got outed multiple times on camera, got caught nicking a bottle of wine, and did not give a single shit. Leah does not respect the OP, plain and simple. And the Erica is fully endorsing this behavior in their house, and she does not own any part of it. I'm starting to think Leah did, in fact, have Erica's permission to take that bottle. Erica just backpedaled and threw her friend under the bus when OP got upset. I wouldn't be surprised if Leah also thought she had permission to borrow the clubs. After all, we know Erica gave her the key/code and gave permission to borrow the tools. Either way, neither of the ladies have boundaries, but this sounds like an Erica problem. Yep, I think Erica has been giving Leah permission for these things. She's not shocked by what's happened, just upset by OP trying to assert reasonable boundaries. I agree. I think Erica is throwing Leah under the bus. I mean, how else would Leah be able to enter the house in the first place when nobody is home? And being unreasonable about not wanting to hang out at Leah's? If Leah's boyfriend was such a creeper, why would she even let him in their house? Erica sounds like a manipulative partner and friend. Both parties need to lose Erica. Also, I would keep copies of the security footage, just in case, and change the garage code. OP, already have done these things, but thank you for the advice. I won't give Erica the new code. She has the clicker to get in and out, but I'm not comfortable giving her the code until this whole situation works itself out. If you can't trust your fiance with your security code, you guys should see someone together before you get married and have a lot of discussions on your future and how you both see things. He also should see someone alone and be wary that couple counseling hands a low of weapons to abusers. Not the a-hole, but are you sure you want to marry this woman? She's either an idiot for letting her friend rob you both, or the two of them are in on something. OP. Some second thoughts have definitely crept in, especially putting her name on the house. Just a tough situation because Erica doesn't have a ton of close friends. I hate to say this because frankly, I don't have many close friends at all, but sometimes there is a reason for that, especially if they take people's stuff. I don't have many friends either, but it's because I cut people like Leah and Erica out of my life before they can do more damage. I was raised in a pretty abusive household and made some poor friend choices, as a result that have completely gutted me emotionally. I'd rather have almost no friends by choice than associate with shitbags. But you're 100% right that some people don't have many friends because they're bad people, and they're the ones people like me have cut out of their lives. You are not the a-hole, but you are focusing on the wrong issue. You have an SO problem. Leah would never have had the chance of disrespecting you, not more than once at least, if your fiancé had done her job and put her in her place. Your fiancé has no respect for you and your property. And not to mention, Leah's boyfriend skeeves her out, so she allows Leah to bring him in your house? How's this making sense? I don't always like Reddit's break up now reaction, but you're looking to get fully burgled at this point if you don't stop it. And it could be that cops won't be able to do anything since they have the keys to your kingdom or house. I too rarely ever agree with how quickly Reddit jumps to break up now, but this one comment is spot on. Protect yourself, not the a-hole. Careful. Once she's on the deed, she's going to pull the, well, it's my house now too shit. You know it. You can almost hear it now, can't you? I'm on the deed. I'm contributing now. I deserve respect, despite not giving OP any. In my own house. You are being controlling. OMG, such an a-hole for not wanting stuff you paid good money for stolen. How dare you treat me bad enough, even though I have no boundaries? Not the a-hole. You're being disrespected by all the people involved, including your own partner. How bad will it get when she is on the papers? I'd be letting that wait a while till this situation sorts itself out. Your partner has a responsibility to put across healthy boundaries, and it seems you're having the piss ripped right out of you. The best part is, I don't want to go to my friend's apartment. Her boyfriend makes me uncomfortable. So he should come here and you deal with him. Thanks for stopping by Storytime Reddit. I hope you'll come again soon. Bye for now.